Welcome to No Longer Conformed. I'm Erik Garthe, and we are studying You Are Significant. Know Who You Are in Christ, Part 3, based on the book Your Identity in Christ by Neil T. Anderson. In this session, we'll be looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 1 through chapter 4, verse 2. Most people want their life to be significant. What is significant? Well, it's something or someone who's made a lasting impact on life. The key isn't the immediate impact it makes, but how long it lasts. A stone splashes water and then disappears. Sporting events, natural disasters, political events, national crises, wars, all fade with time. What can be forgotten in time is of little significance, but that which is remembered for eternity is of great significance. Turn to, if you haven't already, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. We're going to look down to chapter 4 and verse 2 and consider the apostles' arguments on significance. First, significance is not found in people. Look at verses 1 through 4 of chapter 3. And I, brethren, could not speak to you as spiritual people, but as to carnal, as to babes in Christ. I fed you with milk and not with solid food, for until now you were not able to receive it, and even now you're still not able, for you are still carnal. For where there are envies, strife, and divisions among you, are you not carnal and behaving like mere men? For when one says, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are you not carnal? These were Christians not acting like Christians. Paul wanted to feed them spiritual meat, but they could only tolerate milk. Why? Well, they walked in the flesh and not in the spirit. They were carnal, acting like unbelievers. When you see envy, strife, and division among the body of believers, you can be sure they are spiritually mature. And then second, significance is not found in personal effort. This passage presents two pictures of work. Planting, God gives the growth, verses 5 through 8. Who then is Paul and who is Apollos, but ministers through whom you believed, as the Lord gave to each one? I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. So then neither he who plants is anything nor he who waters, but God who gives the increase. Now he who plants and he who waters are one, and each one will receive his own reward according to his own labor. So there's the picture of planting, and then there's also the picture of building. God placed the foundation, verse 9. For we are God's fellow workers. You are God's field. You are God's building. According to the grace of God, which was given to me as a wise master builder, I've laid the foundation, and another builds on it. But let each one take heed how he builds on it. For no other foundation can anyone lay than that which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. What gets accomplished in the church by man alone? Nothing. What gets done if we expect God to do it all? Nothing. God operates through the church, but if no one plants and if no one waters, nothing grows. Believers plant and water. God gives the growth. That means we can't pull it up out of the ground. Hurricanes are great equalizers. Before they hit, there are different classes of people. After they strike, there's no difference. Everybody stands in line. God is sovereign over his universe. Look at verse 12 down to verse 17. We participate, he controls. Now, if anyone builds on this foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, straw, straw, each one's work will become clear, for the day will declare it, because it will be revealed by fire, and the fire will test each one's work of what sort it is. If anyone's work which he has built on endures, he will receive a reward. If anyone's work is burned, he will suffer loss, but he himself will be saved, yet as through fire. Do you not know that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? If anyone defiles the temple of God, God will destroy him. For the temple of God is holy, which temple you are. And then third, significance is not found in abilities. Verse 18 down to verse 23. Let no one deceive himself. If anyone among you seems to be wise in this age, let him become a fool, that he may become wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he catches the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are futile. Therefore, let no one boast in men. For all things are yours, whether Paul or Apollos or Cephas, or the world or life or death, or things present or things to come, all are yours, and you are Christ, and Christ is God's. Heed the warning of verse 18. Let no one deceive himself. Understand the true source of all abilities. I am the vine. You are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. That's John chapter 15 and verse 5. In Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We have a trust from the Lord to be his workmen harvesting souls. Significance is in stewardship. Chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. Let a man so consider us as servants of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that one be found faithful. God has distributed gifts equally to us. He will judge our faithfulness by what he gave us to do. Pastors will be judged on leading the church. Ministry leaders will be judged in their areas. Teachers will be judged for their faithfulness. Individual servants will be judged for their tasks. All of us will be judged as witnesses to Christ. But all I do is teach children in Sunday school. The privilege of building biblical principles into young lives. Galatians 6:9 tells us, and let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. Waiting for all that underground activity to pop up, we tend to get confused about what is important. General Norman Schwarzkopf in the First Gulf War, he had 11 principles of winning the Gulf War. Principle number 5 was no repainting the flagpole. Listen, make sure all your labor is essential to the goal. You are a significant steward in God's plan of the ages, redeeming lost mankind. Will you be found faithful? You think about that, and you have a great day.